Hello, everyone. This is Own Wall Street with thetradersperspective.com doing my weekend edition of my bi-weekly video analysis. Before I do go ahead and get started on the crude oil analysis, I just wanted to say I went ahead and I've arranged all of my videos according to the commodity or currency that I have done a video analysis for. So, for example, I've created a crude oil analysis playlist so that you can just kind of go through and see all of the crude oil, gold, natural gas, and the US dollar. So I've created those four different playlists, and I encourage you to check them out so you can see how things have been forecasted in the past and brought present. So if you start backwards, work your way forwards. In other words, then you'll understand where we were back then, what we've been seeing, and then how things have unfolded over time. I always highly encourage all of you to double test and check what I say. And if you have any other opinions, I highly welcome comments on below the video. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, let you guys know that I have created like little libraries for you, so you can go ahead and go have access to this information a little bit easier, especially if you're only focused on oil or gold or whatever your specialty may be. So again, before you have crude oil, I'm looking at the daily time frame, still seeing price respect this downtrend line here. I was expecting that crude oil would kind of come down to the 42s or so. 43 was the level to watch previously, around 43.80. We broke below that. We did get back above, but we're strongly reversed with the bears taking full control back to the 42 level, and now we're looking for a potential bounce. So as I mentioned in my video last week, that there was a potential uh, for a bounce. So as far as a bounces, I was looking for this to be a level to watch, and then possibly see a repeat of this pattern up here, whereas we would come back and test this going forward. But in the grand scheme of things, the way price has been going, I don't even know if we'll be able to take a trip back to that 49 level. So here is the weekly chart, just kind of taking a look at where price has been, and I know it's very cluttered and disorganized here, but if you can pay attention to this trend line here, I'll make it a little bit darker so you can see it. Um, that's the level that we're going to be watching. So if price is still on this grand scheme downtrend line here, then one would expect that price would go to about $40 a barrel before we did see crude oil take a bounce to the upside, which would be a challenge of this broken uptrend line here. So that would be a test of around 45.50 or so, dropping down to the lower time frames will give us a better idea of what we're looking at. So on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that price is coming up on this downtrend line once again. If we do get a break, just make sure that's not another fake breakout. We've come across that level a couple times now, so just be very careful. Use your stop losses, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm going to repeat myself again. It is possible for us to continue further to the downside. I know that we are all looking for a bounce. I'm looking for a bounce as well. So it's up to this level here at about 42 to hold, 42.15 to hold. If we do fail that 42 level, then on a larger time frame, you can see here that price does have support around this $40 level here. So if this downtrend line here that I've identified holds true, and with the downward swings that we're seeing, I wouldn't be surprised to see oil do a test of around 43 or so, maybe even the 43.80 mark, and then violently thrust down to around $40 before we see crude oil do any type of bounce. But once this does happen, we could see a few dollars move in the price of oil, probably to come up and test this downtrend line here. But again, we'll have to see what happens. So earlier in the week, let me just go ahead and try to see if I can identify anything for you. I know that I mentioned earlier that we are fighting with that downtrend line. So you can see here that we are fighting with it still. So we are above the 50 period simple moving average on the 1-hour time frame, which is good. The only thing is that we are looking at a test of around 43.30 again, and that's going to coincide with this downtrend line here. So if we break above that, we have another level of resistance around 43.75, 43.80. And then we have the 200 at around 44.15. So there are a few levels of resistance that we do have to watch for the price of crude. So it's again going to be kind of up to the lower time frames to dictate what happens. So honestly, if we have this as a these are kind of the things you got to look for. Like if we have a uptrend line like this, do we break higher? If we fail, do we hold this level? So little things like that will give you the clue on whether or not oil is going to head higher or if it's going to head lower. So in either case, I'm going to step aside and just wait until things kind of settle down and look like they're concrete and the bottom is in before I do go long. So personally, I'm taking a step on the side. If you guys are going to go in, please do use your stop losses and try not to be greedy. If you make a few points here or there, take them and then just see how the rest of the price action rolls out. But in the grand scheme of things, oil is definitely heading lower. Weekly trend definitely shows that we're going to go to about 40 before we see any type of significant bounce, and then we'll have to see what happens from there. But that's looking out several weeks in the future. In the meantime, I'll be updating you bi-weekly as usual. I'm on Wall Street. This has been a presentation of thetradersperspective.com analyzing crude oil on multiple time frames. I encourage you all to let me know if you have any type of topics you want to discuss. Ranging from how do you handle yourself or conduct yourself when you're in a trade, how do you know that you're in a good trade, when you should scalp your profits versus when you should just let them run. I'll be happy to answer all of those for you. Just either shoot me an email or just leave a comment below the video. Thank you all so much for watching and so much for subscribing. Have a great weekend.